Well, welcome everyone. It's election season one more time, and we've got a very important county council election coming up this season. This is the first time that a pilot program for the clean elections system is going on in the county council only. And today we have with us a candidate running under clean elections for the county council, Ms. Barbara Lively. Thanks for coming. In each district that each person is running, they will be collecting only campaign contributions or signatures from that district.
Right, right. I think that what it is that it's actually proving your viability as a candidate, and that is to say that there's demonstrable support within your district for you to run a campaign. It's a way of making sure that the public funding isn't used by people who are not serious or aren't looked at as being serious within the community. So it is a way of kind of weeding out the weaker individuals, if you will. But it certainly is a strong demonstration that there's support within your district for you to go ahead and run your campaign.
And this doesn't seem like it's the easiest thing to do. I know it's collecting 200 signatures, correct? And with $5 contributions from your particular district. Was this hard for you? Did you find it challenging?
That was a big part of it, and a big hard part of it, I should say. When I first came out as a possible candidate under the Clean Elections program, people were very excited. I had 2 events in December of last year, just to let everyone know that the program was coming up. I kind of did a 15-minute speech at both of the events, just going over the clean elections and what that was about. So people was really geared up and ready to support in that way as soon as the program started in January. So got a bunch of people signed up, and then realized that most of them were not even in our district. Yeah. Puna's kind of a little tricky because we have situations where the actual political line is drawn in neighborhoods. So on one side of the street, you're in one district, and the other side of the street, you're in another district. And we also have situations where you live in the District 5, but your poll site is in another district. So people are, there's any number of reasons why people could be confused and mixed up out there. So, I don't really blame them. It was definitely a learning experience for me.
Would you mind explaining some of the ways that you went about finding constituents?
Sure. And another thing is that there are 3 of us candidates that are running in the 5th district that are using the public funding. So that's actually 600 signatures and $5 donations that we got. And each of us got well over the 200 that was necessary, but a lot of them were disqualified for one reason or another. So you needed at least the 200 to be able to be certified. So that's over 600 people. Granted, people were able to sign for more than just one of us, so that they could sign for all 3 of us and donate for all 3 of us. You're not limited to just one candidate in your district. So maybe it wasn't a total of 600 different people, but still, that's 600 people in Puna that showed their support for the project. Basically, I went door to door. I believe in the old style of running a campaign, and that is doing the door-to-door, getting out, really meeting the people. Went to shopping centers, word of mouth, of course, friends, coffee hours, however we could.
Great. Yeah, I noticed that today, which is August 3rd, I believe before today, there's only one non-incumbent who qualified or who got all of the paperwork done through being officially on public funding elections. And I noticed that there's a lot of people on this declaration of intent to seek comprehensive public funding. So it makes me think that it takes a bit of work and a bit of persistence.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about your education?
Well, let me see. I'm a military brat. So I was actually born and raised in the mainland, lower 48s. my father was in the Army, so we moved around a lot. So I went to quite a few different schools. When my parents divorced, I was about 12, and my mother's full-blooded Hawaiian, so she brought us home. It was a shock for me as a 12-year-old, kind of coming to Hawaii for the first time and meeting a huge family. So it was kind of a culture shock.
Wow.
And then, let me see, I met my husband very early. I did not finish high school. We moved up here in 1984. I had a son at the time, and I was pregnant for my daughter. We now have 5 kids. I did go on to get my GED eventually. I went to the community college here. I am an alumni, proud alumni of UH Hilo.
All right.
I did get an associate's degree in political science. Associate's degree in administration of justice, associate's degree in liberal arts, and a certificate of completion in human services at the community college. Then I transferred up and got a bachelor's in political science and a bachelor's in administration of justice.
Oh, great. And the next question would be some community affiliations involved in Puna. I believe I saw you in KL. They had a Puna town hall meeting, and you were the MC for that. Was that right?
Well, I am a facilitator. I'm a trained facilitator and community organizer.
Mm-hmm.
I was very fortunate in my last semester at the university. I was asked to join a program that the prosecutor's office was running here. They had gotten some funding to run a program. It was called the CEO program. It was the Community Empowerment Organization program, and that was where they picked community leaders, trained them in the skills of facilitation and community organizing, and kind of sent them out to their communities to conduct public meetings to create awareness and educate people around the negative impacts of crystal methamphetamines at the time. We were having a major war on ice here. And so the prosecutor's office was very, I think, insightful in the program that they chose to try to do within the communities. And I believe that it was very successful. So I saw a lot of growth in my community, a lot of healing in my community around that project. That lasted for about 3 years. And then I transferred over to the Department of Research and Development and worked as a facilitator for them. And so
Great.
When you saw me, I was actually volunteering. I do volunteer those services whenever I'm asked because I was trained at the expense of the county. They invested money, time, resources in me, so I pay that back when I can.
That was great to see. It was about 200 people showed up, and the whole thing was sort of started through a Hawaii Community College class. Actually, that was really amazing. I'm glad that everyone was a part of that. It really shows that people in Puna, when you say there's a town hall meeting, people show up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people show up. So I guess the next question would be, why politics at this time? Is this your first time running for any sort of office?
It is my first time running for a elected office. The community facilitating and organizing work that I was doing, really it made me see how policies really can serve to better communities. And the reverse is also true. So that policies that we create or that we perpetuate are sometimes harmful or hurtful, or even the very least create obstacles or barriers for people. So I saw right away that that was a way to be very effective, was to be creating the policies. I also, when I was going through my schooling experience, that was kind of in the back of my head that I would kind of serve my community in some capacity at the policy level. So I like to think that I prepared myself for that. After the facilitation work that I did, I was fortunate enough to